We're headed to Buffalo. America's game of the week on Fox. Josh versus Jalen. McDermott versus Sirianni. And two teams that have been statistical equals if you don't count the Super Bowl appearance and the Super Bowl win. Last 3 seasons, Philadelphia and Buffalo have both won 35 games, both lost 14 games. Points per game, very similar. And the defense, very, very similar.
Wow.
Okay, Brou, you wanted just the plain old who you got in this one?
Yeah, look, honestly, I could see it going either way.
Oh, good.
I won't be surprised if either team wins. But I'm going with Philadelphia. You said it, Wildes, and you are correct.
Oh,
that
I felt like you guys were making fun of me.
The Bills can't stop the run. Saquon has gotten it going the last few weeks. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see if that's real or not. But 110 yards a game over the last 3 games he's averaged. Jalen has had his 2 best rushing games the last 2 weeks since September. Yep. So that's a huge part of their game if he can run at his best. And then obviously we know he can throw the ball when he needs to. He's shown that. And also the Bills have not looked great in the last 3 weeks. I know they've been a second half team this season.
Yep.
But Cleveland, they were in a dogfight with a bad Browns team. The week before, New England, they're terrible in the first half, come back, look great in the second half, but a whole game. And then the week before that, Cincinnati's having its way with them until Joe Burrow throws these crazy interceptions. Give the Bills some credit for making the plays, but still, he melted down or whatever it was, Burrow, and they were able to win that game. So I think that, the Eagles are going to pull this out and show everybody that you're going to have to beat us to take our crown in the NFC.
That's a great take.
The Bills don't lose at home, and the Bills are better than the Eagles. So I'll go with the Bills. The Bills have won 15 of 16 at home. While you talked about how the Bills have not looked great the last few weeks, against Cincinnati, the offense did whatever it wanted. Against New England, they spotted you guys 3 touchdowns, and then the offense did whatever it wanted. So much so that KW's had 3 big takeaways from the Pats-Bills game. One was, I wanted to win, but a loss was fine.
It was a good loss.
Good loss.
More than fine.
Right.
That was good.
The loss was lovely.
The other one was that the Patriots defense was so outgunned and overmanned that you were mad at Travion Henderson for scoring so fast.
Not mad at him, but I would have preferred a long drive.
Yeah, and
we needed a breather.
Right. And so the Bills' offense looked exceptional against the Bengals after a slow first quarter and a half, exceptional against New England. And I agree that Josh Allen did not play well against the Browns. James Cook did, though.
Yes.
And the Bills, I don't think that was a good game by any means. But they, so I think that's fair to criticize them there. But they escaped with a win. Philly was in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. And now I am supposed to believe it is fixed because they dominated Kenny Pickett and Josh Johnson. I don't believe that. I think that the Raiders had been, sadly, the worst team in football all year with their starting quarterback. And then the Eagles played them with Kenny Pickett. And against the Commanders, who have been awful this season, they're trailing when Mariota gets hurt, and then Josh Johnson comes in, and the Eagles take over. Again, I give them credit for it, but it doesn't, to me, signal they turned a page. And so I think, and the point I was trying to make before, KW, is the Bills have an awful run defense. The Eagles' run defense is bad. It's 21st in the league. They're allowing 4.4 yards per carry. Now, the Bills is 5.4, and it's 31st. So, again, one is awful and one is just run-of-the-mill bad.
Yeah.
But
they're getting Jalen Carter.
But Jalen Carter, for the record, is not really – his claim to fame is not his run stuffing. He's good at that. But his claim to fame is being one of the best – creating pressure from the Chris Jones-style interior D tackle.
But are you expecting like a Bears-esque annihilation of the Eagles' defense where they just run for 200 yards?
Yeah, I think Buffalo's going to score 30. That's what I think.
That's what they
do.
They like scoring 30.
They score 30 a lot, and I don't think Philadelphia, even with the Bills' struggles stopping the run, I don't think Philadelphia is going to be able to hang with them offensively.
I know we joked around about the Travion Henderson thing, but it was further strengthened. The Browns, in the Browns game, the Browns ran for 160. They had the ball for 35 minutes. I do think Sirianni, if they're going to run the ball, would like to play a little bit of old Mahomes rules, keep the ball out of Josh Allen.
That's what I think.
Quick look forward before we get to upset alert, Brou. If the Eagles do win, are you going to think less of the Bills and more of the Eagles, or it's just going to be, one game?
I'll certainly think more of I already like the Eagles. I'm giving them a shot in the NFC that's wide open. I just feel like the Bills, again, I hate to keep dwelling on the field in the AFC, but.
It's wide open?
Yeah.
They got
the best quarterback by a good margin in the and he plays well in the playoffs.
Not that big of a one.
So
his story, for career, and he's been great in the playoffs.
Brou doesn't want to dwell on it's wide open. I don't want to dwell on how important and useful I think it can be to, if you don't earn the bye, be able to give yourself a bye in Week 18.
Yeah.
The silver lining for Buffalo, if they lose, is assuming the Pats win that we think the Pats are going to beat the Jets this weekend. Mm-hmm. Buffalo will be eliminated from the divisional race, and they might say, we don't care what wild card spot we got, and we are going to rest our guys in the final week of the year. If they're in a weird spot where if they win this game, they have to go all out in Week 18, even though they are not going to, they would take the Patriots would need to lose to Miami, which I guess could happen. But they are probably playing for nothing, but they don't know that, so they'll go. If they lose, then you just know Week 18's essentially meaningless, and maybe we just sit our guys.
And do they feel like, that's the question, is would they feel like.
Well, we know Josh will at least play the first snap of the game because that streak is very important.
Keep the streak going.
But I think the Bills win easily, just for the record.
Ooh.
I think 31-21.
If they win 31-21, I will have second thoughts about supporting the Eagles.
Okay.
Because the Bills aren't good.
Sorry.
I didn't say that, you did.
No, see, there it is.
Time now for the hottest segment in all of sports. It's Upset Alert. A segment so hot it warms your heart. I was in the holiday spirit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to see your grandmother.
Yes, I did. When I closed my eyes in heaven. Oh, it's hilarious to you? Oh, that's great. My loss. Quick update on the standings. And Nick has a surprise for us.
So first, look at this. All winners. Brou gets a win. KW with a 10-pointer, pulling him to within just 23.5 points behind Coach and Greg.
That's interesting.
Which sounds like a lot, but there's 16.5 points available to you this weekend.
Excellent.
If you were to take the Jets.
He's not.
And Coach and Greg. But there was a lot of scuttlebutt from your table mate, Brou, KW, about the scoring's unfair.
I have no problem with the scoring.
Kevin Wildes has actually dominated this, and I'm not getting credit for it.
Because we have to pick underdogs. And then Danny comes out here in a full King's costume. I'm like, man, we have to pick underdogs.
We did a deeper dive into the data. This year, if you guys were just picking against the spread, Brou is 6-10, Wildes is 8-8, Coach and Greg are 7-9.
Hello, that means I'm number one.
The difference is the segment is called Upset Alert, not Cover Alert. Brou has gotten three of the 6 covers he has, 3 won outright. So those are your 3 wins. Of Wildes' 8 covers, 4 won outright. Coach and Greg's 7 covers, 6 won outright. And then that total points is, remember, Brou, how Wildes demanded we change the scoring so he has a better chance? If this year's scoring, we were using the scoring system moving to next year, guess what, buddy? You're still getting curb stomped by Coach and Greg.
But when I talk, I'm right half the time.
Sure.
Let's go.
Neither one of those makes me feel better.
I know, Brou, you're having a tough year.
I honestly like the first. We're changing the rules. I like the first rules.
Again, it just gets a slightly more points for covering but not winning. But Brou, we did go full into the Upset Alert archives, and it did remind us of a record that is still seemingly untouchable.
It's like
2023.
Yes.
2023, you got 10 outright winners. Right now, Coach and Greg are running away with it with 6 outright winners.
You're unbelievable then.
2023.
Yeah, I've rested on my laurels.
Yeah.
I got to get the
Coach is
hunger back.
not here. He's celebrating Christmas with his family, but he did send in his upset alert. Take a listen.
Hey guys, I know I'm not with you today, but I wanted to make sure that I got my upset alert pick in because I'd imagine that in the bylaws there's some rule where if Greg and I don't make a pick, we forfeit. Just like must win, the rules change a little bit to put us at a disadvantage. So I wanted to make sure that I got my pick in, and this was challenging but consistent. I was initially going to go with the Dolphins upsetting Tampa Bay, but I'm going to stay in the NFC South, and I'm going with Carolina over Seattle. 7-point dogs, another big win. Carolina's been great to us all season long. I think they've produced a significant amount of our points, and I think they're going to produce a significant amount of points here this weekend. It's another West Coast team having to deal with essentially a 10 a.m. kickoff, which I think is going to be a lot more challenging than they expect. And I imagine they feel that Carolina is a good team, but they don't think that Carolina is the type of team that can hang with them. So I like the Panthers for another upset and for us to run away from Brou and Wildes even a little bit further.
Shouldn't be able to pick the same team twice.
A
He's picked
survivor?
them several
A
times.
Survivor
keeps picking the
edition
Panthers.
style upset
That's the only
alert?
reason they're good.
How many rules do we need to change for you to feel like you can
You just shouldn't be able to pick the Panthers 3 times, especially when I want to
Also,
pick the Panthers.
by the way, while I appreciate Coach sending us that video,
Yes.
I did see him live on First Things First Overtime Special Edition, and then live on the Herd. So, Coach,
Yeah, you could have done it.
you could have just
He's
popped on.
absolutely-
Great point.
I mean,
excellent.
Yeah, I mean, he just
That's a great
he could. I understand. We're.
I
asking
think
a
he
lot
should
from
be
you, Coach.
docked a few points.
Wow.
At least 1 point.
Wow.
It's a live show. All right, Brou, do you believe in this one or not? Not really.
I'm getting out on a limb a little bit.
Okay, let's see.
I think there's a possibility, Nick. The Indianapolis Colts over the Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys know I'm a big believer in due dates. All right?
Yes.
Indy
You've
is
established
due for a win. They've lost 5 straight.
that. Yep.
Jacksonville due for a loss. It could be a good loss. Like, you love good losses.
It's a
They've
same
won
reason why
6 straight.
Jacksonville won, because the Broncos, you predicted were due for a loss.
We're due, yeah, right? So
Makes sense.
it works. I also think, Nick, Indy is a solid team that's going to be like, you know what? Old man Phillip Rivers came out of retirement, sitting on his couch, coaching high school kids to play for us. We let him down by not winning enough to get into the playoffs. Let's send them out with a bang. They play Houston next week. I think Houston, that could be a dangerous game for Phillip Rivers because they're going to get a pass rush. So I think they're going to go out there, send him out with a good win. Jonathan Taylor, look, I know Jacksonville has a great run defense, best in the league. I'm going to say it. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have another great game.
Wow.
He hadn't rushed for 100 yards in like 6 weeks
Yeah.
or something like
Pulled
that.
off.
And so I think he's going to, whether he does it with the run or maybe with the pass or receptions, but I think he's going to have a big game. I'm going to say with the run. So I got Indy in this one. It's what is it, 5.5
5.5.
points?
So it'd be
Yeah.
8.5 pointer.
I would like that.
KW, what do you think of Brou's bottom line there?
Old Man Rivers ends the Prince's fairy tale run. Now, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
A lot of puns up in there.
suppose you're traveling for Christmas. You're at the airport. You look up. This show seems interesting. What is that? What are they talking about? Just straight up, the Colts might beat the Jags. Right on the
Colts
bottom
over
line.
Jags, period.
I think we have to have,
That's a good point.
in all seriousness, we have to just have the show be a little bit more straightforward and serious if we want to take the next step. Time now for the Puxatawny Phil of football. Make his upset alert. Why do they call it Puxatawny? Okay, now I feel absurd. He lives in a log, he's saying? No, it's just a coincidence. We actually. Can I have another beer, please? Delayed. Texans straight up over the Chargers. This is a simple one. No, you don't think so?
No, I'll let you finish.
I thought it was. I thought it was an easy.
That's
one.
why it's only a point and a half.
For a few reasons. One, I've seen these teams play before in the wild card, and guess what? Justin Herbert didn't do well at all. He had 4 interceptions and a passer rating south of 41. Okay, well, certainly things have gotten better, right? That offensive line is all shorn up, and Justin Herbert is nice and cozy in his bed. Well, you know, it's kind of like I was trying to make a night before Christmas joke. And it turns out not so much. Joe Alt, although he is a Pro Bowler since he played 6 games, is not there to protect Justin Herbert, and it's been pretty bad. He's gotten sacked 49 times. He's been hit 121 times. He's been pressured 252 times, which is 37 more than anyone else and the most in the NFL. Now you're going up against a defense that I saw haunt Josh Allen and give him one of the worst games of all time. He has a decent offensive line. So the Chargers offense is middle of the pack, and Justin Herbert does what he can. And the Texans defense is absolutely excellent. Oh, but Wildes, didn't you see Justin Herbert against the Cowboys? I did. J.J. McCarthy also lit up the Cowboys. Lots of people light up the Cowboys. It's not a big deal. Didn't you see him beat the Eagles? Yeah, he had a horrible game against the Eagles. Completed 46% of his passes. I think an amazing defense against a patchwork offensive line, and Justin Herbert, who's playing great. That being said, Texans straight up over Justin Herbert. That's a good one.
Here's why I gave that look. How is your pick not the Eagles?
I would love to parlay a few picks if you'd let me.
No, but you can't say it's, well, I wouldn't get as many points. They're also 1.5-point dogs.
Honestly, the only reason, well, two reasons. One, we just talked about the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I felt the same about both.
Oh, okay.
2, although I don't live by the comments, people have told me you pick against the Bills every week. Every week. I just keep picking against the Bills.
All right, fair enough.
I took the feedback.
KW?
It's time now for Nick's Picks. Red hot. We told you 3-0 week.
Red hot.
And it came through.
3-0 week, which puts us back above 500 before the playoffs begin.
That's great.
Within striking distance
Thank
of Danny
goodness.
Parkins. Picked the Titans, getting 3 against Kansas City. Said they'd win outright. They did. Took the Jags, getting 3.5 against Denver. Said they'd win outright. They did. Took the Patriots, getting 3 against Baltimore. That one was dicey for a bit, but said they'd win outright. They did. Puts us 4-1 on the locks. It also was the culmination of our show, Upset Alert, Parkins picks, my picks, all of it going 9-0.
Wow.
Which sadly, I can announce, can't happen this week.
Oh, no.
Because we are in direct conflict on one of these picks.
Not mine. Mine's flawless.
Jags
I knew it.
laying 5.5. Due dates.
Can't quit.
Brou is banking on the maternity ward. I'm banking on the Prince. And here's another important wrinkle, Brou. The Texans play Saturday night. I know Wildes just told us he thinks they're going to win. If they do win, the Colts season's over. Then the Colts wake up Sunday, they're watching football Saturday night, Texans win. What the hell are we playing for?
Yeah.
Just to watch the Prince with his gorgeous hair throw 5 more touchdowns on us? That ain't great. So Jags are red hot. Indy's lost 5 in a row. And you know why? Because they're not very good right now.
though.
This team, on the other hand, is still alive for the 1 seed. I don't mind laying the 5.5 points on a fast track indoors. Give me the Jags cruise. 31-20 over the Indianapolis Colts. That's a cover. Next. Now listen, taking the Steelers -3. Do I love that if Baltimore loses Saturday night, the Steelers don't need this game? I don't love that.
Eek, I hate that.
Yeah.
Here's why I don't mind it so much. Don't get mad at me, Brou. Even if that happens, and they sit Aaron, Mason Rudolph against Shador,
Ouch.
I don't mind Mason in that spot.
Look at that weather. Mason can't handle that. Mason wants no part of
the Steelers, if the Ravens somehow win, and by the way, Jordan Love is out, then the Steelers have to have this game. So if the Ravens win, I feel great about this pick. Even if they lose, I still feel like the Steelers' resting players can beat the Browns by at least 3 points. It's a tricky one, but I'm going Steelers -3. And last but not least, I don't care that we just talked about it. I'm trying to win bets. The Bills, 1.5 favorites. As I said, they've won 15 of 16 at home. They are a prolific running team. Philly's only defensive weakness is its run defense. They're going to be able to run all over Philadelphia. Josh Allen, it's almost January, which means it is time for someone to write the column. You know what? Stats be damned.
That's right.
Josh Allen's the league's most valuable player.
There's no one more valuable.
Right, and so that can only happen if on America's Game of the Week on Fox,
That's right.
he lights it up. So, last week, after going with 3 underdogs, this week, 3 favorites. The Prince and the Jags laying 5.5. The Steelers laying 3, and Josh Allen and the Bills laying 1.5. That's a 3-0 week. KW, you got a question for me?
I don't have a question. If Mason Rudolph does get in this game, Dusty and Hubs are going to go crazy with the pun. So I'm hoping Aaron Rodgers stays.
But you do have a question for me. You have to ask me which of those picks is...
Oh, I'm sorry. Which is the lock?
Again, I don't do
Rudolph
locks,
pun.
but since you forced my hand, the Jags minus 5.5. Sorry, Brou.
You know what
No
the
respect
ultimate
for my
compliment to
pick.
Phillip Rivers is? That he's 49 years old and you don't even mention him as a part of the storyline. That the Jags defense is going up against a 50-year-old man. Guy's 65 years old.
He's looked good.
He looks great.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.